It's time to stop using charge skills. Do what Dimps doesn't and add the charge to your moveset. See that? No charge skill. Yet I can still charge ki. I'm going to teach you how to add any charge to your moveset. We will follow the add guards to any moveset tutorial by FlurryX. By the way, he's a really cool guy, makes some really cool mods. Highly recommend getting to know him, and he's a very, very humble. Now the tools required will be the XP2 Skill Crate by Eternity, and the YA-BAC and the YA-BCM by Yuki. Links to will be down below. For the Skill Crate, make sure you download the XP2 zip file. The Skill Crate is inside. Now, first thing you want to do is open a vanilla folder, an empty vanilla folder. And then you need to go to the Skill Crate to get the charge files. I have mine named to maximum charge. And then you go ahead and open Skill Crate, and then go up to the tools and import skill directory. Find maximum charge. For this quick and easy purpose, I'll show you what happens when you choose. Just make sure you choose the right folder you just created. And again, make sure it's empty, and then go ahead and select folder, and the files will be inside. Again, you want to choose maximum charge. Now, since I have the files here, now what you want to do is open the .bac with the YA-BAC, and you just go ahead and drag and drop it. Now I already have it open, so we'll go over here. Now go to your, just hit that 0 entry, and just hit copy. And but don't close it. Very, very important. Keep this open. Now you want to do is find your moveset files. I am using the default moveset files of Male Clan. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy. You want to copy your files into where you will be actually editing them. So I go ahead and paste them into the folder you'll be using. And then, same thing as before, you want to make sure that you open the BAC with YA-BAC. Again, you want to drag and drop. And then once I either have it open here. Now what you want to do is uncheck the hide empty entries and find entry 727. Now, it doesn't have to be 727 for the purpose of this tutorial. That's what we're using. And then right here, you want to insert entry copy. And then once that all set up and ready, you can go ahead and close the other YA-BAC. We are now ready to edit the BAC entry. We're going to start with the animation entry for this skill EAN. We want to change the EAN type from skill EAN to character EAN. Then we want to change the EAN index to 30. And now that you have your EA index changed, you can now delete all the other animation entries. Now we need to add a sub entry of invulnerability. You know, so like when you're charging, you won't get attacked. Pretty nice, right? So let's change the duration to be 140. And now for the time skill, you need to add another time skill sub entry. And we just gotta change this one to be duration 140, and then time skill to be 10. Right, and then for the BCM callback, we can leave that unedited. For the effect, we want to delete all the player effects, and then we can leave the rest of the entries unaffected. For the camera entry, we want to leave those unedited as well. For the sound, we want to change the ACB type, and then we want to change the QID to 100, and we will change the duration to be 65535. Now we can delete the other two sound entries. For the bone modification, we want to leave that unedited. For the system, we want to leave that unedited. Although I do want to mention that you can add or change this to add stamina or to charge your health. The values for those will be in the written tutorial found below. Now for the screen effect, we want to leave unedited. Now for the aura effect, we want to leave unedited. And you guessed it, for the eye movement, we want to leave unedited. Now that the 727 entry is done, go ahead and copy it and go down to the 728 entry and go ahead and insert entry copy. And now, the only change that needs to be made is right here. Change this from 30 to 31. The 727 controls when you're standing, and the 728 is for the floating animation. Now that you have the 728 entry done, you can go ahead and save the file. Alright, so we are now ready to edit the BCM file. But once again, you just want to make sure you open this up with YA BCM. Now, find the entry that has only Kai Blast. It's not the first one. This has block and Kai Blast. For male saying, it'll be this second entry, which has only Kai Blast checked. So you want to copy entry 2 and then choose append. And now you can uncheck Kai Blast, and you can check skill display plus skill input. And then down here for the charge type, you want to choose the third option. Now in the activator type, you want to choose 0x0, and then you want to choose Kai less than 100%. And you want to choose the standing position, and then you want uncheck target attacking player. Make sure you leave guarding checked. Now for the BAC, it needs to match the BAC we just edited, so change that to 720, and then change these to 0, and leave the MISC tab and the unknown tab unedited. Now the first entry is done. This is for the standing animation. Now you want to copy entry 3 and then choose append. And then the only difference you need to make here is make sure you choose floating. Now this is for the floating animation. And again, you want to change it to match the BAC entry for floating 728. And now either the BSM and be saved. Alright, so we're not done yet. You need to like, comment, and subscribe first, and then we can move on. Alright, you at least subscribed, right? Alright, so the lazy bone tutorial part. So this is a quick and easy process. I won't go into full detail, that will be in a future video. But say you want to edit a bunch of CSC movesets, or you want to install CSC movesets all in one go. You can do that through the LazyBones installer. Now you will need to edit every single CSC individually. Unfortunately, LazyBones installer does not include BCM. Hopefully one day it will, because then we can do this whole process through XML editing, which is quite fun. and you can just like apply it to any moveset. Like, I'm hoping I'm ready for that day. But for now, we need to put each file into the appropriate folder once they're edited. And then we go back over here and the installer XML. Now this will be most likely pre-generated using LazyBone's example, and then you can just edit how you want. And this is pretty self-explanatory. You put a message here, and again, it has a message file. The source path is like what you have it in your Jungle folder, and then the install path is what is in the game folder. Now I have mine set for all install or choice install. LazyBone has a tutorial on how to do that. It's a written tutorial. So this is how a finished XML installer XML looks like. Now say you only want to install like one file, you can do that. Like if you put the file down here, this will install no matter what you choose. Alright, now you might be wondering, how did you put all of it together? How did you get this install info file? Well, this is just a renamed zip file. That's all it is. So you can use 7 zip. I cannot stress that enough. Stop using WinRAR. 7-zip is superior in every way. From that, you can just go ahead and choose it into a zip folder. Now, once I've learned that it's just a zip folder, that's all the install info is a renamed zip folder. It was super duper easy to understand LazyBone installer. Alright, now you're ready to put your edited BAC and BCM along with all the moveset files into the date folder, so it will be ready to test in the game. Hope this tutorial helped you in any way. Let me know. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. Now let me know what you want to see in the future.